It's time for WrestleShoot. The beast comes out in the dead of night. WrestleShoot eats a Tuesday night. Rob and Chris don't pull the punches, bitch. WrestleShoot. Breaking it down, WrestleShoot. Telling the facts, WrestleShoot. Stories of the road, WrestleShoot. That's our Warriors podcast. No Carney ever escapes their sight. Coming at you live every Tuesday night. Hey, WrestleShoot. Anti-social network, WrestleShoot. Sticky and hot, WrestleShoot. Sometimes act like jerks, WrestleShoot. Always bringing on the guts.
Wake up. Wake up.
Wait, are we on?
We are on.
Son of a bitch. Why didn't you intro us? Damn, go ahead, Chris. Take the reins.
Welcome to WrestleShoot. I am Chris Casanova, and my host next to me is Jeremy. Yeah, Jeremy.
Oh, son of a bitch. All right. I don't even get lovely and talented. I don't get none of that. I just get Jeremy.
Yeah, sorry. My introduction's not as great as yours.
You're such a cunt. I am Jeremy for the rest of the show now. That's it.
You're
What's up, y'all? Welcome to WrestleShoot. I'm your host, Jeremy, joined, of course, by the biggest asshole in pro wrestling, Chris Casanova. Fuck yeah.
Yes, I'm proud of it.
Unfortunately, I believe that you're proud of it, but you really shouldn't be.
Huh?
You really shouldn't be proud of being such a cunt, is what I'm trying to say to
I
you.
think it's great.
Ah.
I'm going to change glasses.
All right, there. I'm not Jeremy anymore.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, we were talking the other day on the phone, guys, and it just got kind of interesting thinking about these guys who got the big pushes and got the opportunities in wrestling that they probably didn't really deserve, and the more deserving guys were kind of falling down the reins a little bit. And you had somebody interesting you were saying should have had the world title, and I went, nah, he doesn't need a belt. Who was that?
Yeah, I was. I still feel the same about that. I think you're wrong.
Who are we talking about?
We were talking about Scott Hall.
Scott Hall. That's right. And you think Scott Hall should have been the world champ as Razor. We're not talking about NWO Hall.
So when we were talking the other day, I thought Razor, but then I thought more about it. I think you should have been the world strap holder in both. I think he was that good. I think he was the better worker than most. And he had the look, he had the charisma, he had the mic skills, he had everything. And I think he could have carried the strap. Now, I get why they didn't do it. Because he was probably so over because he really didn't need the strap. But I felt like they should have done him some justice and at least give him the strap for a little while. I think he could have done well, personally. That's me.
I mean, probably. I just feel like Razor was better used as the guy who was always on the champ's heels, the guy you thought could beat the champ. That's how I thought he was best utilized as Razor. I'm not talking about his WCW NWO stuff. I'm just talking about his Razor. And having Razor be the one who's always on the heels of the big belt, I just felt like he was more effective. Same reason Rick Rude, in WWE, never got the big belt. He was a better contender and a better chase you down.
Well, they both were victims of one thing. There were just too many people in the spotlight, and they weren't going to elevate those guys. They weren't going to elevate Razor or Rick Rude. I mean, look at Rick Rude, and he was around Hogan, Warrior, Andre, like all these big guys ahead of him. And he was a great, great semi-main event guy. He could push for the strap, but they were just never going to give it to him. Now, I think if they would have given it to him, I think he would have done a really good job, but he just was outshined by so many other stars that were on top at that point.
See, I lean more towards they should have put the belt on Rude over Razor in WWF. I think him pinning Hulk Hogan for the title would have made him the top heel in the company, the most legitimate contender to keep that belt. And then Hogan takes it back, and then Rude gets it back, and they do the same game they did with him and Warrior. They should have just done it with him and Hogan. They would have had much better quality matches on those runs.
Okay, I can kind of see that. I can agree.
Warrior and Rude and Hogan would have had better matches than Rude and Warrior.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they would have got.
That's a given.
If they did that run with Hogan instead of Warrior and Rude, they just would have got a lot more juice out of that.
Yeah, but hands down the Rude though. I mean, look how great a match he had with Warrior. I mean, he carried that.
He made Warrior look like a real champion.
He did, yeah. But go back to Scott Hall. I mean, as Razor, he could have had a good run with the strap. Take it off of Brett for a moment, and then Brett gets it back, and it wouldn't have been as a glorious feud as Hogan and Rude, but I think it could have been a little decent feud there. But
I think if he was going to rip the belt off of anybody, it should have been Savage, because Savage was Ramon's first feud over there. So if he would have taken the belt off Savage, you could have tied it back to the beginning, made it circular, and really had to grab some momentum, I think. And usually I would say that the ones who politic are the ones who get the big pushes.
Of course.
Rude didn't politic. He didn't get the big push. But we all know that Hall did, and he still didn't get the big push. So maybe I kind of poked a hole in my own theory with that.
Well, I just think he was outshined by so many. Not saying he's outshined. That sounds bad because no one can really outshine him. But I just think other people were in the spot, like Nash, Brett, Shawn.
Yeah.
And there's just another one I'm missing here. There was someone else that was in the mix.
Poor fucking Nash, man. They had such high hopes for him when they strapped him. And those sales and those numbers were just like, whoops, we fucked up. Get it off him. Get it off.
Well, you said the other night it logically made sense for them to do that, but my question is like, how did sales drop with him? Like, was it believable? Wasn't he just couldn't sell? I mean, I'm curious about that.
I know for me as the champion, when he was the champion, I thought his work rate suffered. I think he went down because when you're the champ, you got a lot more work you have to do outside the ring. I think he was tired.
Yeah.
I thought he was a bad champ.
Oh, I did too. I didn't think they kept him on there for a year, I think. It was at least a year.
It wasn't even that long. Yeah. They tried, they kept trying to repackage it and give it different angles and different opponents, but the Diesel run just didn't work.
Yeah. I'll have to look at that. It might have been shade under a year. And I think they tried, but they just couldn't. It was terrible. I mean, even him and Shawn couldn't get over.
And he's a politicking machine too. So, I mean, and there were so many guys who politicked and so many guys who didn't. Let's go into a Magnum TA. Because you have the theory that had he not been injured, he would have been just an explosion on wrestling. And I was just never very impressed by the man.
Well, I think explosion in the WCW, NWA, I think he would have been the champ. He was pushed to be the champ. They were going to make him the champ. And I thought he would have done well. You brought up a good point too. Magnum PI was out. If that was still pretty hot,
right,
that would have meshed with each other right there. But if you went to WF, I feel like he would have been a low mid Carter at best. And
they wouldn't have known what to do with him. You're right. They wouldn't have known what to do.
No, he was like a Kerry Von Erich.
Unless, of course, Magnum PI was still a hit when he went over there. Then they would have just continued on as the same. But would he have been able to still be Magnum TA, or did Crockett's own that? I wonder.
Yeah, I thought he was a good worker. I thought he was. He had the charisma, had the look. He made a great champion in WCW, or call it NWA back then. And him and Flair, they would have had some really good matches with each other, I thought.
He was a very leadable guy. I don't think he was a general. I don't think he had the skill to walk Ric Flair through a match. I think he would have had to rely on Flair.
Well, very many people don't have Flair status.
I'm just saying, like, I don't ever really see him as being the general. The good matches that I saw him in is because he was in with great fucking workers. Most of his matches were snorathons because they were just his level workers, and they just weren't good to me.
Okay. I mean,
And you put a microphone in Magnum's hand, and it's just like, all right, so wake me up a commercial.
he was on a bad. See, and that makes me want to watch an interview now because I don't remember him being that bad. I haven't seen a Magnum match or interview for a long time.
He was just boring. Not that he was bad. You just started talking, you'd be like, you're stupid, like Virgil. But he just didn't grab me. And I'm just speaking for me. He didn't grab my attention.
Yeah, no.
He didn't ever make me say go Magnum, ever.
Well, he did have Dusty, though, and Dusty was the talker.
It's the trap, baby. It's the dream in the house over here. Me and the Magnum over here, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he would be like the Kerry Von Erich in WWF. He would just been low to mid card tier. They wouldn't know what to do with him because they wanted to give Kerry the strap too, but they just didn't. He had too many demons. That's a different story. But
I don't think Von Erich would have been a good champion at all. I don't think he nearly had the skill level to take that seat in the company. No way. He was a decent IC champ. He wasn't even a good IC champ.
But he was in line. There were small talks about him getting the world strap.
And WCW?
No, WF.
Huh. I'm sure that talk didn't last long, though.
That's been a long time, though. But
yeah, that could be a reason they didn't put the big belt on Hall, too, was all of his demons and his partying too hard and getting in trouble out in public.
That's probably what did him in, too, right there. But you didn't think Kerry was that good of a worker?
I thought he was a fine worker. I just think he was a mid-carder. And I know in Texas he was going to be the main event every fucking night because, Fritz owned Texas at the time, basically. Sure. So I get that. And that's cool. Out there he was the big draw, but when you put him on a stage where everybody in that locker room is at least Kerry Von Erich caliber. What did he do to set himself apart? Really nothing. His fucking finish was a cyclone punch, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't take that?
Of course I'd take it because it would be my job and I'm getting paid to. But it was still a stupid fucking finisher. Oh, the big tornado. Shut up. The Texas tornado punch. Right. Oh, like, I don't like finishers that are like that in general, though.
Yeah.
A punch as a finisher. That's fucking stupid. This is wrestling. This is not boxing. Use a wrestling maneuver as a finish, not a punch. That just, there's no creativity or ingenuity or skill involved in throwing heat.
I like the claw. Yeah. The claw was cool. It's a good setup.
Sure.
Yeah,
I guess. No. The claw was stupid, dude.
Well,
because in no feasible reality can anybody on the street be genuinely beaten up by the claw. The tornado punch has got a better chance of doing damage than the claw. Fuck out of here.
It just was cool back then, but the thing I always ask about the claw is like, why are you putting your other hand on your wrist? Are you trying to stop yourself? Like, just go like that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I never got that part.
Well, the good guys who did the claw grabbed the back of your head too. Snatch.
See, that makes sense. But why grab your wrist? Though? It seems like you're trying to restrain yourself. Like, okay, I'm trying to like.
Yeah. I don't want to kill this guy because my claw is so powerful. He might die. Ooh. Fuck out of here.
Oh, man. I think you should take a claw in a match.
But then you got guys like Jannetty and Michaels, who obviously should have had a run with the tag belts, and they never did. And if you think about it, it's because they kept getting themselves in hot water out on the streets.
Yeah, but there were just too many for them. I think there was just too many teams around that were big dudes, big teams that were getting the push. I mean, you had Demolition, the Road Warriors, well, excuse me, LOD, the Hearts, the Nasty Boys, like the Natural Disasters. It seems like they were there, but they just weren't. There's always some other team in front of them getting the straps. They should have had the straps.
They should have had the straps. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their personal lives clouded their professional, I think. Maybe.
No, I agree. Well, maybe Marty was Marty, of course.
That's, and I know we've always steered away from talking about the Rockers when we have Marty on the show, but maybe next time we should just jump in for a bit and get a little more feedback from his side of the line on that. Right now he's living the sober life as I understand it, so maybe we'll get a more cohesive, version of what happened or how his days as the Rockers went with Sean when he's not intoxicated.
Yeah, yeah. What was the whole thing with the whole? Because they got the straps for like a night, and then they took them off or something.
And they took them off, yeah, because the rope broke. So they deemed that they couldn't put that match on TV. So they took them back off, gave it back to the Hearts, and pretended it never happened.
And then they forgot the straps back. I mean,
Never got back, yeah.
That sucks. Because they could have a nice run. I think they could have a really good run.
They would have had an epic fucking run because they were unique aside from everybody else. Sean and Marty were about the size, like they were the Hart Foundation size, but they had all that charisma, all that amazing white meat fucking heat. Just on fire. If they worked their matches like they worked all of them with the big boys, how when they win, they just barely pulled it out, that's a good championship run.
Yeah, absolutely. I love them with the Rougeos and the feud with them. I thought they were great matches.
Well, the Rougeos, I've never seen them in a bad match. I've never seen either one of them, even in singles, have a bad match. Like Rick Martel, same thing. Never seen it, never once.
Yeah, those guys from Canada, they can work.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Solid worker.
I mean, I've even seen Bret Hart have not so great matches, but I've never seen the Rougeos, never seen Martel ever.
Yeah. They were good. I can go on for hours about those guys. Those guys were great.
Even as the Mountie, I mean, I was just so motivated by Jacques. I thought he was so great, and I loved the Mountie. What a gimmick that was.
Yeah.
I even liked their song. I would sing their song to myself when I'm doing dishes and shit. And I enforce the law.
My gosh, I could get a visual of that, dude. Just
you can try to run, but you can never hide. The Mountie always gets his man.
Even the Quebecers thing was pretty cool. The other guy, I can't remember the old guy's name.
Yeah, the Pierre, the pirate gimmick guy.
Yeah. I thought they had a nice little run.
As the Mounties, the Quebecers, yeah.
Yeah.
And, the pirate gimmick was cool. I did like his pirate look, but with Vince, it just didn't work. Nobody was into it. Everywhere else he did it, it rocked. But with Vince, it just couldn't get over for some reason.
No, it did not, unfortunately.
But the Mounties did. The Quebecers, fuck yeah.
They did. Yeah, Quebecers were a good team. They were. But yeah, politicking. I mean, I guess we kind of got straight off a little bit with politicking, but we know Hulk did a lot of politicking.
Of course. But that was a political spot. If he didn't politic, who knows how long he would have kept his spot. But he took his seat on the throne and said, fuck you, you're not taking it from me.
And he did what he could to keep it.
Damn right. As well he should, because he's Hulk fucking Hogan.
And he puts asses in the seats.
I mean, all these assholes in the business who were even still badmouthing him. You wouldn't have a platform to say anything about anything that anybody would listen to without him.
No.
Without Hulk Hogan, WrestleShoot would not be here right now.
I agree. He's he's a pivotal point in wrestling. Like he has changed all of it, and we're all here because of that.
I mean, he really was the alpha and the omega. And he worked hard and he never stopped to keep his spot. Hogan, they can say James Brown, but I think Hulk Hogan was the hardest working guy in show business.
I agree. Yeah,
And he took great risk, fucking walking away from Vince Sr. to go shoot Rocky. That was a career move right there. Oh, this is either going to make or break my ass. I better do it. Right.
Yeah. It's
And that was, I guess, in a sense, that was politicking.
mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. He politicked himself to get the strap back when he dropped it to Warrior because Hogan knew. He says, I knew Warrior was not the guy. I was leaving for a bit. I knew he was not the guy. And when Hulk came back, he said, he politicked his way to the strap. So Vince basically made Slaughter the,
I don't even know if Hogan really politicked for that or if he just came back and Vince was like, thank God, pal.
Probably not. He probably told Vince he wasn't the guy. He's like, Warrior's not the guy.
He did tell Vince. I mean, as far as I understand it, he did tell Vince.
And so Vince is like, we need to get the strap off of him. So let's use Slaughter
as Terry. Which I don't know. Why wouldn't they just had Hogan Warrior 2 and then let Hogan take it back?
Yeah, that would have been. Do you think it would have been a draw though?
Yes. Yes, I do.
As big as the first one?
Couldn't say. But I know every fucking great match that has a rematch always draws well.
Well, that's true. Even their WCW shitstorm fucking
match. Goddamn. True. So funny. I heard Warrior giving an interview once, and he says it's ironic that I was involved in one of the greatest matches in pro wrestling's history and one of the worst. With the same guy.
It's terrible. And there's some people out there that say Hogan, facilitated this together to get his revenge, to get a pin, like to win. It's like, come on, dude, seriously.
I've heard Hogan went out there and tanked it just to try to kill off Warrior.
I've heard that too, yeah.
But then you hear Hogan's the one who was pushing to get Warrior brought back on, and that goes right back to politicking back in the back because Hogan said, hey, if we get Warrior and me back into the ring, I'll bet that's going to make money. And then maybe Hogan turned around and killed it just to be like, haha, fuck you, Jim.
Could have been. You could play both sides of that.
I mean, even on the indies, dude, we used to watch so much politicking happen over nothing. Nothing. Like, look, listen here, good boys. If you're out there on the indie scene and you are politicking in the back and making enemies by doing it, let me ask you why. What are you getting out of it? What, you're getting booked on a show? Are you getting any real money? Are you getting a spot on TV? What are you really getting out of making enemies? Nothing. You're not getting anything. It's indie. It's nothing. It's $20. $20 and a spot on the card. Take it, get your rep, keep your mouth fucking shut, and go home. And then take the next booking. Do the gig, shut your fucking mouth, don't politic.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
We saw a lot of it. We saw a lot of it indie scene. Gosh, it was constantly going on.
And it never worked.
Not with us.
Not with us. Yeah, not with us.
Yeah, but other shows, oh yeah. I mean, we'd work on other shows and you just see it going on. You're like, okay, we know that person's their favorite. They're going to give them the strap, which is, that's, hey, to each his own. But you just knew who, like, I could be there 5 minutes. You knew who the person that was politicking. Oh, there they are. Okay, cool. We know.
And it's always some not always, but most of the time, it's always some older sloppy fuck who's doing all the politicking, trying to keep himself relevant. It's because he's been around for so long in indie wrestling. He never got himself a push. So now he's just going to try to trick his way into a push.
Yeah. And is it really a push? I mean, were you, like you said earlier, were you getting a spot in the card and maybe 25 extra bucks, 20, 25?
Yeah.
Like,
You're not getting a spot on TV for it. Vince ain't looking at you.
no, it's not even life changing. So the juice has to be worth the squeeze. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. God, that's my favorite line.
But the juice is worth the squeeze.
Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yeah,
That's right. I've been asking that of young wrestlers for 100 years, and most of the time, they don't even understand what I'm saying. You're stupid. You don't
Right.
belong here.
What?
You're the wrong gig.
Huh? What? I don't understand.
So anyway, real quick, we should put this out there that this is the Antisocial Network. Please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Hang out with us, help us on the algorithms. Let us know what you think. Talk some shit in the comments. Chris is ready for it. He's ready for you to attack how stupid he looks most of the time.
Yes, please make some comments. Come on. Send those comments.
Thanks for playing ball with that, man. Shit.
Well, should we let the cat out of the bag? We got some guests coming up, maybe potentially, or should we kind of just hold on that?
We'll just wait. But wait till it's booked.
Yeah. We got some things coming up, guys. So
I mean, I think one of them is pretty obvious. We're always hinting towards, we're going to be having Marty Jannetty come and join us soon. But the rest of the stuff, let's just kind of. But Marty will be first, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Marty's and we always have a good time with Marty. He's been on twice?
4 times.
4 times?
4 times he's been on WrestleShoot since we started. First 2 was audio.
Oh, that's right. The audio, yes. God, I keep forgetting about the audio.
Actually, 5 times then, because he's done 3 videos with us because he kept having problems at one time. So he came back again to make it up. And then he had so much fun, he came back again.
That's right. Yeah. I remember
that.
Like,
send me the link, guys. I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, let's do it.
That guy's so entertaining. It's just his stories, man.
Marty is when Marty passes, he will be the next wrestler that goes. It actually invokes an emotional reaction from me. Probably every bit as big as Hogan's passing would. Because I love Marty. I mean, he has a love-hate thing with me, but I've always had nothing but love for old Jannetty.
He's one of those guys that he's just kind of always in something bad, but then you just like the guy. You're like, I just genuinely like the guy. He's a likable person, no matter what.
Right now, I believe he's in that moment of clarity and he's riding the sober train. So I'd like to get a hold of him, get him on here while he's still clean.
Yeah. And he'll still be probably fucking still entertaining because he's got some awesome stories.
And Marty's brain just fires on a different level. So what do you think, guys? I'll tell you what, you want to leave some comments? Comment who you would like to see come on WrestleShoot. I'd like to see some serious suggestions, but I know we'll get things, that are off the wall and stupid. Good Santa Claus.
Yeah. Well, how did that go again?
Good Santa Claus.
Oh, wow. It sounded pretty real, dude.
I know. That's because it was real. I actually said it.
Yeah, we actually sound like Santa Claus, like, for real.
Oh, well.
Wait, he doesn't exist? Wait, what? No.
What'd you say?
Does he exist?
Who?
Santa Claus.
What do you mean, does he exist? Of course he does. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Damn it. It didn't go the way I wanted to. Anyways, dumb joke, guys. Move on.
All right. So on that note, why don't we go ahead and take it on home, guys? This is Anti-Social Network. Please give us a follow. We're right here on YouTube at ASN for Life, like the NWO for
Life.
Fuck yeah, dude. And we're going to be back on next week. And I think that maybe next week we can go ahead and start announcing some dates for wrestlers, right?
I think so, yeah. We'll get some things wrapped up, and we should know more by next week.
Fuck yeah. Well, then, on that note, you know who I am, and you know who this is, and see you next week.
Stay classy.
Wait, do it one more time.
Stay classy.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.